Hi guys, hi, welcome back. Holy cow, I cannot believe that it is already Super Bravo Tuesday again. And guys, I just looked at the waiting room and there's 54 of you guys to start off. So that's incredible. Before I get started, I just want to start off by saying thank you guys so much. Thank you so much for the support and love for the channel. I really appreciate you guys. Also, please, as you come in, it helps a lot if you guys can press like on the video. Honestly, it helps tremendously. It helps us get eyes. And yeah, I just want to say thank you so much. So Peggy Sulahian from the Real Housewives of Orange County, she's one of the former housewives, actually the 100th housewife ever, to be exact. She should be joining us. She's going to be joining us around 6:10, 6:15. And then Steve from Faces by Bravo, hopefully he's calling in later. He's going to let us know. But I thought it would be exciting if, since the Real Housewives of Orange County is coming back out in October, I thought it would be really exciting if we had somebody who has actually been on the show come back and talk to us about it, you know? All right, guys, 92 in the room. Everyone like the video and let's get started. So tonight, I'm going to hold off on Real Housewives of Orange County and all of the gossip about that until Peggy comes on. We're going to talk about Real Housewives of Potomac. Ashley Darby is pregnant again, guys. She's about to be in the middle of a whole scandal. And it's almost kind of, I didn't even think about this. It's almost kind of convenient timing. If you guys think about it, the fact that she's dropping this new baby tea right before we're about to have the whole Michael Darby scandal dropped on Sunday. So it's kind of smart if you think about it. We're not going to necessarily rip Ashley through the mud or Michael Darby, or hopefully we wouldn't, if she's pregnant again, right? And I think that's exactly what she's thinking. But we'll jump into that, guys. Before we do, we have a few other topics. We have the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. The trailer is coming out tomorrow during the second part of the Beverly Hills reunion. We have Real Housewives of New York, the first part of the reunion in person, the first one since March. And then what else? Below Deck recap and the potential new housewives for Real Housewives of New York. So I guess let's get started. 161 in the room, guys. Thank you again. Please like the video. Let's start with Real Housewives of Potomac. So guys, as we all watched the same episode this past Sunday, it was insane. Just as much as it was boring, it was also insane. For the simple fact that Dr. Wendy Osefo is coming out guns blazing. She is ready to attack, and honestly, at any moment, she's just not going to let you disrespect her. And she's coming in letting everyone know, I have several degrees and you're not gonna come for me. I think she was definitely coached by Candace, and I think that she knows exactly what she was getting herself into. She knows how to take conflict and run with it, I guess. The resolution is the part that we kind of have to work on. I know that she had that half ASS apology with Ashley, but we'll get better. Guys, I'm a huge advocate for Dr. Wendy Osefo. I think she's great for the Housewives so far. Again, you guys have to remember that the Housewives have one job, and that is to get the ratings up. So whether you like them or not, just like Lisa Rinna, a lot of us don't like Lisa Rinna, but she has a job to do and she does it. That's why they keep her on the Housewives. So Dr. Wendy Osefo has to find that kind of fine balance between clean and messy. And if you can't do that, just realistically, you're not sticking around. So I think so far she's doing good at kind of inserting herself. Honestly, if any housewife has to go at this point, you guys know how I feel. It would be Karen Huger or Robin Dixon. Robin Dixon only because I feel like she just comes in all the time and acts as like a second one to Giselle. But then Karen Huger because why? No. It's time, Karen Huger. It's time to go. You can't rent everything in your life and then end up being on the TV show and being the grand dame. And that doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense for us as viewers. And it doesn't make sense for the other housewives who are trying to carry the rest of the load on their back. Except for Robin, who lives in a townhouse. But I guess that's a realistic point of view. And at least she owns the fact that she lives in a townhouse. Whereas Karen is like, no, I can't wait to redo the kitchen, rent a kitchen. I can't wait to add new furniture, stage furniture. I can't wait to do all of these exciting new things that she's going to have to redo when she rents her next house. And that's not being shady. I'm not being shady, guys. Guys, 212 in the room. That's so exciting. 4 minutes in. Let's hit 250. Thank you, guys. Yes, Adam, I agree. Bye, Karen. Thank you, Susie. I appreciate that. So what I want to get into is the fact that obviously we ended this past episode with Candace Dillard Bassett getting the text message that is going to run this whole season of Real Housewives of Potomac. The text message that said, "Girl, I saw your friend's baby daddy inside the strip club." So Michael did 4 things wrong during this visit to the strip club. 1, he probably shouldn't have been there. 2, he was talking to several different women. 3, he's boasting around that he has a wife and an alleged boyfriend, which is, you can't do that. You just got a new baby. And then 4, he was allegedly trying to get people to go back to the hotel, casino, whatever it was. And that's just the word on the street. I'm not trying to do a funny, punny, like play on Giselle's words, but that's exactly what we're dealing with at this point in time. So when Candace gets this little bit of information, what does she do? The first thing she does is goes, like producers weren't called in the room to refilm this moment that already happened. It looked a little pre-produced, but I won't go there. She ends up running into the room, well, to the guest house where Giselle is. The logic behind it, because I thought this was messy, because as you guys are watching the same season I am, Giselle doesn't even like Candace. But Candace ends up taking this information, running to Giselle, and Giselle's like, listen, read the text messages to me. Let's get to the bottom of it and find out exactly what's happening, right? So that's exactly what she does. She starts going through all the text messages. We later find out through Twitter, Robin was right behind the door listening to the whole thing. She just didn't want to get involved. But Candace is backing, and the whole reason that she brought the text messages to Giselle was because Giselle's the closest with Ashley Darby. Now, whether or not that's true, I don't know. I think Candace knows that Giselle's a vet and an OG and just the original bone carrier for Real Housewives of Potomac. So if you're going to take this messiness to anybody, why would you not take it to Giselle? Exactly, right? So that's exactly what Candace did. I can't wait to see this kind of, I don't want to say blow up because I don't want to be disrespectful. This is nothing bad against Ashley, but I can't wait to see this kind of play out. Again, if you guys follow Twitter or anything like that, Giselle said one of the things that she has to give to the Darbys the most is that they really step up and they take responsibility when something goes wrong. So apparently Michael Darby is going to step up this season and accept full responsibility for all of the shenanigans, and he's really going to own it at the finale and the reunion. Well, hopefully he owns it at the reunion, but we know that he owns it at the finale, at least, okay? I see super stickers. Thank you guys so much for the super chat, super sticker. I appreciate you. 254 in the room. Wow, guys. It's a lot of love. I'm going to keep the Real Housewives of Potomac for later when you guys start calling in, and then we'll get back to this because I know the Michael Ashley Darby thing. This is going to be a lot. The fact that she's pregnant with her second child and just announced it right before the scandal comes out next week, I think it's genius. I think it's going to make a lot of us kind of back off of Ashley Darby and not really go guns blazing for her and attacking her little family. It was really the protective blanket that she needed. It's like she reached into a bad movie of Harry Potter and said, give me your invisibility cloak because I'm disappearing. Can't attack me now. I'm pregnant again. And nobody's going to attack a pregnant woman unless you're Candace Dillard Bassett, who's going to send awful tweets and stuff when you're having your baby. That's okay. Probably the worst example, but let's move on. Champagne? Guys, 269 in the room. This is making me so excited. I love Super Bravo Tuesday. All right, guys. Before Peggy ends up coming on, let's talk a little bit about Below Deck. It's another one of my favorite franchises on Bravo. And I think this season, my fiance just said in the other room, he's like, this season has sucked for me. I'm like, sucked for you? What are you talking about? While I'm not so excited with the decisions that have been made this season, I love Chef Kiko. I wish we would have not, have fired him. I love Hannah. Hannah called Pops. I wish we wouldn't have fired her. But the season is definitely not lackluster. We're not missing anything this season because the drama is in the firings, the releasing of all the castmates, and kind of the recycling of the old castmates. I think that's the drama that we are getting. That's the storyline for Below Deck this season. As you guys can see, if you watch the episode this week, we see Jess and Rob. They're going at it again. And they're kind of like our modern day Ron and Sam from Jersey Shore. They're obviously not meant for each other. And a free spirit like Aisha added to the mix is not going to do well. That's what we get. So thank you, Amy Davis, for the super sticker. Once Aisha ends up asking Rob while they're all out at the club and they're fighting, Aisha asked Rob to show her his little Red Bull trick. That went south. So Jess is like, no, go be with her. You want to be with her? And she freaks out. Rob's like, I can't do this at this point. After Jess's anxiety attack, we quickly figure out this isn't about Aisha. This is about the fact that Rob told you in bed that he was still talking to his ex-girlfriend. Rob gave you this anxiety. And sure, he shouldn't have told you, but you can totally tell, just like she's having the anxiety attacks, Rob's kind of somewhere else too. When he threw the rope twice and he missed it, and he's constantly going through this episode and just like, woohoo, not there, not waking up on time for a shift. It's one thing after another, and you can totally tell there is a lot on his mind. Just like there's a lot coming out of my mouth right now. I feel like this is overload. I just watched the Below Deck after show and I wanted to vomit. Stephanie. Okay. I did think it was a little funny that Malia said, I would marry you to Tom. Because if you guys are following Malia and Tom, just like I said last Super Bravo Tuesday, Malia and Tom are not following each other anymore on Instagram or any of their social media accounts. Now, I don't know if that's technically a breach of contract, just like TLC when baby girl Lisa and Usman and some of the other TLC cast members where they've breached the contract and just said what's happening before we see it on TV. I don't know if that counts when you unfollow your boyfriend, girlfriend, but they definitely did unfollow each other. On the very first episode that Tom was involved with, he said that he feels like this was a big mistake and he's kind of getting embarrassed. Now we've seen him on the last 2 episodes and he's really held his own weight. He's carried his own weight and he's delivered great meals. Now, granted, on this last episode, we had the charter guest who is the baseball player, and the guy was a little schwasty pants. So had he have said something was wrong, which he did with the steak, ribeye, whatever it was, and Captain Sandy's sitting right there, Captain Sandy's not even going to care what this man's saying because she sees how he's like, his face is falling asleep into the actual plate. That's what it looks like. Grandma Scary, thank you so much for the super sticker. But yeah, I was happy to see that Captain Sandy was there to kind of see what was going on. But also at the same time, I'm still Team Chef Kiko, not Team Chef Tom. No offense, Chef Tom. I just really love Chef Kiko. But for Chef Tom, Malia said, I'd marry you. I don't see that happening. The only thing that I saw coming good out of this relationship-wise would have potentially have been Alex and Bugsy. And I think that's because Alex just kind of admitted that they're both weirdos. Alex and Bugsy are both kind of 2 peas in a pod, being that they're both out there, kind of like little nut jobs in the best way. They're kooky, they're strange, and they like that about each other. So we might have a boatmance, romance, showmance, something. We have something. All right, guys, 300 in the room. That's exciting. Go ahead and like this video. It helps a lot. Again, Peggy should be in the room in the next 2 minutes. Before she does, I'm going to take a sip. I hope everybody has their champagne. I'm still going to cover a few more topics. I have Real Housewives of New York, the 2 potential new housewives, the reunion coming up, Real Housewives of Orange County, and 2020, the year of change. Cheers. All right. Next, Real Housewives of New York reunion. Whew. Got to catch my breath on this one. So the trailer is out for the reunion, and we know that Dorinda is not coming back next season, nor so we've been told. We don't technically know that yet. We know that she's been let go, released, fired for whatever reason, but she's hinted already that, hey, never say never. You don't know. I could be back anytime. What I think is going to happen here is that she needs to have a conversation, or a conversation needs to be had with production and Bravo, because I think that maybe a certain housewife might have gotten too big for her britches. Apparently her attitude on set or while filming was a little redonkulous. Like, it was too much, and you can't maintain your spot like that, because when the castmates don't want to film with you because you're drinking and you're being aggressive towards everybody, and production doesn't want to film with you because you're being too demanding, I think that says a lot. You can't act that way. If you act that way, you're going to have your contract pulled. And we've seen that again, because it's a topic for tonight, in the year of 2020 of Bravo. 2020 for Bravo is the year of departure. Oof. Oh, I thought Peggy was calling in. 2020 is the year of departure. It's the year of new babies, and it's the year of change in Bravo. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of people say that we needed a cast shakeup anyways with Real Housewives of New York, but that Dorinda shouldn't have been that cast shakeup. A lot of you guys are saying that Luann should have been the one that got cut because you guys are sick of her cabaret show. I kind of agree. Dorinda, yes, her anger was getting too much. Yes, she was getting a little bit aggressive. Yes, her drinking, this, whatever. Ramona's defecating on the floor. What are you guys talking about? Leah's hanging from the curtain. Luann is falling into a bush, borderline assaulting police officers, and going through whatever else she's going through. Yeah. Sonia is just that. You can't pick on Sonia. That's not even fair. This poor woman finally got a business that got taken off the ground. So let's give kudos to Sonia. But what I'm saying is you can't just go after Dorinda for this one thing. I'm almost sick of talking about it. She was drunk. She was aggressive. It happens. It's Housewives. I'm going to ask one of my favorite housewives from Bravo what she thinks about this. Peggy's finally here. And I'm curious because I think what you guys forget and what we forget sometimes as fans is that we're watching a reality show. You know, a lot of these housewives, you guys want them to put everything out there. You want to see everything from them. You want to see the good, the bad, the ugly, right? But what Bravo does sometimes, and this isn't a diss towards Bravo, they'll give the women or the castmates of whatever franchise it is a little bit of liquid courage, and then it kind of enhances the mood a little bit. I'm not going to say any more about it, but I'm excited because we have Peggy Sulahian. Hi, Peggy. How are you?
Good. How are you doing? Thanks for having me again.
Oh, yeah, of course. You look so pretty.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
It was a pleasure talking to you. We had a great time.
Yeah, last time our interview was amazing. If anyone's missed it, you guys can go back and catch it on my channel. Peggy, you were so transparent in our interview, and you were one of the first interviews for my channel. I can't thank you enough. You actually gave me an exclusive talking about family matters, talking about your brother, your experience filming.
Yes, I did. I put it all on the table, so.
You did. And I want to say this, Peggy, because a lot of people don't know this about you. And if we can just touch on it real quick before we talk about Real Housewives of Orange County. You didn't really get the same shot at your first season as most of the women do. And when I say that, I think what I'm referring to is you were going through a lot of health issues at the time that you started Housewives, right?
I was going through a lot of health issues. It was a very difficult time in my life, and I didn't know what to expect going into it. So it was very, very hard. I'm sorry, I'm getting echoes right now. It was very hard to put everything out there and not knowing what my situation was, and in denial and not sure, what the future held for me. So it was kind of difficult to put everything out there and not really having the strength and the right mindset to go forth as far as how to kind of get on track and to see how things are played.
I agree. And then also, I mean, I think one of the biggest questions that's asked is if you ever had the opportunity to come back to the Real Housewives of Orange County and do it again, and say you weren't going through all of these unfortunate health conditions, would you do it?
Well, the thing is that I think if I were to come back, which very unlikely, is because I would know how I'm so sorry, the echo is so bad. Just to know how the game is played and, what is going on and how to play the game and what strategy you need to use, and not only the strategy, but have the strength and the courage to be able to stand up on my own 2 feet and really put things more in perspective and to go on from there. So I would probably be a stronger person because I wasn't very strong at that time. I was very fragile. So right now I would say that you would really get to see the real Peggy because I do stand on my own 2 feet and I'm very opinionated.
I love that. And then now, obviously, we're about to have the Real Housewives of Orange County come back in
Right.
October. Do you speak with any of the women who are current housewives?
Current, no. Lydia, yes. Uh,
Lydia,
if
yes.
you were to ask me about the past, but the current, no. I
No.
don't. I don't think they kind of maybe not want to talk to me because they probably know what a strong personality I have, or like I've heard, once you're off the show, they really don't want to communicate with you. So they're all, since it's a very rigorous, schedule. I think everybody is so into their own life and trying, they're kind of struggling to just go through day by day with filming, and you basically do need an entourage right behind you, standing, giving you support. So I think they're really more concerned about just getting on through the next day. And really, it's really difficult to be on a show like that. So I think once you're off, they're just in their own world and they're ignoring everybody and everything else as much as you try to be there for them.
Well, would you say, I mean, is it a lot of pressure for you ladies as housewives on the show to when they send the cameras to you on just like an everyday average day and you're sending your kids to school, you have maybe your parents coming over to the house and just having a casual conversation. Do you constantly feel the pressure of having the cameras around to make the most of every single thing that you're doing?
Well, it has to be coming naturally, to be honest with you. If you notice the cameras are right there, you're not going to be natural and you're going to really crawl up in your hole, in your shell. And it's very difficult, but it is kind of hard to, act yourself when the cameras are there, especially when you have one camera on each single girl. But then again, that's what the alcohol is there for. So you can kick back and not really think about what you're saying or, how you're reacting.
So you'll back me up on this, right? When
Sure.
when you are
Of
filming a
course,
Bravo
anything for
show,
you.
they do. Hey, I love you. When you do film a Bravo show, they do kind of encourage a little bit of the alcohol, right?
Well, yeah. When I was first on the show, they text me. They said, "What's your favorite drink?" And I said, "I'm not playing that game. Water's fine." So I don't know if I knew where they were going, but then every time I went, I'd be like vodka, 4 limes, club soda. But you take regular sips of it unless you really like to drink heavily and you're not, then you take
Well,
advantage of it because they
and
always
one
have more coming.
and one of the things that you see, I would be the worst housewife. I would be like Tamra falling into the bushes, like nuts if they were just feeding you alcohol like that. But one of the things that we were laughing about so hard in the interview that we did was the fact that you record things. That's your thing. You're always going to make sure that if you hear it, you know it happened. You're going to back yourself up. So these ladies, like, they wouldn't turn something on you.
Yeah, I always have proof. I always wanted to be an attorney, so I always have proof for everything. There's a don't do it, so somebody out there might, you might fall in your own hole. So if I don't have proof, I won't say anything or do anything. I have no right to. So it's solid. Everything I do say and do is solid. I have to say,
Okay.
or I won't
That's
even bring anything up or say anything.
that's fair. And
Yeah.
then I did want to ask you, have
Of
we
course.
spoken at all with Tamara and Vicky
No,
since
I have
they
not. No, Vicky, I did text her after she got off the show, and I asked her how she was and how she's doing, and that was the only communication. And after that, nothing else. But I'm happy for her. I mean, she's doing well for herself. She has her insurance agency. It's insurance, right? Insurance agency.
yeah.
So no, I mean,
No, it is. Yeah, though.
I didn't mean that as an
No, I know it wasn't shade. I just thought that was funny.
No, coming from me, it probably would sound like shade, but no, I meant it. Yeah, I wish her well. I mean, I do. I wish her well, but that's about it. Tamra blocked me, Shannon blocked me because again, I caught them. I kind of put everything in perspective after the reunion. Or
Well, can I ask you, did anyone reach out to you the same, like in the same courtesy and respect that you gave to Vicky? Did you get that when everyone found out that you weren't going to be a part of the next season?
Heck no. Why
Did you
would
get that from anyone?
did I what?
Did you get that kind of message from anyone? Like, hey, sorry to hear that, or...
Lydia and I are the only ones that are close friends. We're very close. I love her to death, but nobody else. As far as no, Shannon blocked me. Tamara blocked me. Vicky, that was the only communication I had. Emily, I did see. After the when she was on the first season, on her first season, and Gina, no, I have no communication with her either. But if they meet me, they're gonna love me. So what's not to love? Just kidding. Just kidding.
No, I have to say though too, and if there's anything, I don't want to cross the line at all. But we do have obviously the Real Housewives of Orange County coming this October,
Yes.
and we have the new housewife Bronwyn. You and I talked about her a little bit. You said that you don't necessarily agree with all the running around naked and stuff.
Go ahead. What else?
Okay.
I'm letting you.
Okay. Then we have Kelly Dodd, who's back. And she's back with apparently, and this is allegedly, I'm not saying anything bad about this woman. Actually, I would love to talk to her someday. But allegedly what they're calling her loudmouth, aggressive friend, Elizabeth Vargas. So this woman's a CEO of a music company, and I guess she's coming in super, super hot. If anyone has anything to say to her, she's just cutting them down. I'm curious, do you think that you could handle a personality like that if you ever went back to the show?
Heck yeah. I've handled 3 of my kids. I've handled.
You're like, hey, if I've had kids, then I can deal with any
over
of these.
25 years of experience being married too, so.
You're like, if I've had kids, I can deal with any of these witches.
Yeah, I can. The thing is that I can handle anybody or anything. I'm not going to back down. So bring it on, because politely and nicely, I like to, speak the facts and tell you how it is. But I don't get vulgar and I don't get aggressive like that. But if something needs to be said nicely, if it needs to be done, I'm here to do it.
Fair.
I don't have a problem with putting people in there, teaching them what they need to learn.
Okay, fair. And then I'm curious, Peggy, since you know best, you've been a part of Bravo. You've actually been, once you're part of the Bravo family, I guess you're never not a part of it. But this has been a kind of a tumultuous year for Bravo 2020. We've had a lot of departures, a lot of firings.
Unexpected firings, right?
Unexpected. I'm curious what your opinion is about that.
Well, to each his own. I feel like, if it was meant to be, there's new adventures for you, new hopes, new paths, go for it. Maybe, one kind of door is closed and the other one opens up. So it depends, what route or path you're going to take. So maybe that is a good thing for whoever is not on the show anymore. It's time to, to depart. It's time to depart, to leave. No, it's not Dico. Dico's
no, I'm just kidding.
He's inside sleeping. He's not feeling good. I shouldn't say that. He's okay. He's fine.
No, she doesn't have COVID.
He's just tired. Dico's just tired. He's just tired from me. No. So it's probably a good thing to kind of, to leave, to each his own. Maybe your time has come. Maybe there's better things for you out there, and you never know. You never know what happens. So there's always a new chapter for everybody. There's always something going on. So you never know.
Okay, and then fair enough. Two things before I let you go, because I respect your time and I know that we can't keep all of it. I want to ask you, one, do you believe that housewives ever voluntarily leave, or do you feel like they're most of the 9 times out of 10 forced out?
I don't know how you get forced out, though. You have to
put fire.
Well, I don't know necessarily if Bravo uses the word fired.
Well, they give you a cotton candy way to say that, oh, I'm going to make my departure and this has been a great time. And
yeah, if you're not good, if you're not there for the drama, then that door is open for you. And I think TV is always everybody tunes in because they want to see the reality, the lifestyle of everybody. And they also want to see if you have drama. I mean, why are people going to turn on their TVs and then be watching something, if there's no drama? They want to get out of, their daily life and just, tune in into other people's lives. So if they're going to sit there and watch CNN, they're not going to do it. They want drama. So that's what they're tuning for. So maybe perhaps if you're not cut for TV and what they're looking for, they might say goodbye to you. Or if you are good, but in a, kind of like not in an ugly way. Well, maybe ugly. I can't say that. Yeah, that was me coming out. If you're there in an ugly way, they might want it, depending on what the dynamics of the girls are and how many, kind of personalities that they're looking for to kind of interact together for the whole season.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. And then respectfully, the only way we can, send you off in the best way with you giving us your time, and again, I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Is there?
I love you. You know that I love you.
I have to see you in Orange County someday. Or if you ever get to LA.
Listen, I had such a great time with our conversation. We were like laughing, and the conversation went on, and we were talking live.
I think we went to an hour and 10 minutes last time.
Right? It was a good one. It was a really good one.
It was really great. But I want to know though, what are we to kind of end us off? What's the thing that we're most excited about in the future?
Within myself, or
anything, maybe family, friends, career, yourself.
Well, Giovanna's going to law school. She got accepted. Yeah, she was going to a very prominent university, and GNL's still going to university. She's going to graduate with her MBA in next year. Coco's finally, hopefully, he's gonna go to school. Let's see what happens technically. And Deco, again, we have Giovanna Wheels, and then you guys can follow us at giovannawheels.com. And I'm doing my serum line. It's called 24 Carats, and you can get it from doubledare.com, doubledarespa.com, excuse me. And it's a 24 karat, just gives you the glow, like a JLo glow before makeup, underneath the makeup, smooths your face, gives it a shine. And that's basically what I've been doing. And I have a couple of more things going on. So that's in production right now. So
you're a busy woman.
Just keeping busy. And then the number one thing that keeps me busy is Deco.
No, I knew you were gonna say that. I knew you were gonna. I feel like all of our minds go straight to the gutter with that.
Like, why do you always bash me? I go, no, it's because I love you. He's just an easy target for me.
That's fair. That's fair. That's why you're married, right?
That's why I'm married blissfully, 25 years. Yes, well, been married for 25 years, people. Yes, thank you.
We would never believe it. Yeah. But Peggy, thank you again so much for your time. I really appreciate you. I think I'm speaking on behalf of everybody watching. We have over 460 in the room, so thank you.
Say hi to everybody. Kisses and hugs to everybody. Love you guys. You guys are the greatest.
Of course, and sending all the health and happiness back to you and all of your family. And congratulations to your kids and law school. That's ridiculous. And just we're sending the best to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Good to hear from you. All right. Bye.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye, Peggy. Guys, how awesome is Peggy? And thank you again so much. We love her. I thought it was really fun to have a Real Housewives of Orange County insider come in and kind of give us her insight on what she thinks about the new season, previous seasons, and everything in between. But before we move on, I have somebody else patiently waiting in the room. Last time you guys spoke out and you kind of didn't give him a chance a little bit. Some of you guys loved him and some of you guys said that you couldn't hear him. So now he's back to see if you guys can hear him. His Instagram is Faces by Bravo and his name is Steve. Welcome back, Steve.
Hey.
Hi, how are you?
I have my normal mic now. Can you hear me?
We can hear you perfectly. I had to take a sip because I didn't want to do it in front of Peggy and look like I was like...
Well, cheers.
Yeah, cheers. But no, welcome back. And thank you again for coming last time. Last time, what everyone doesn't know is we caught you right as you were doing kind of your own thing anyway. So you did us a huge favor by popping in. And I just wanted to acknowledge that. So thank you.
Always happy to join. Thank you again for inviting me on.
Yeah, of course. So, Steve, we've covered a few topics already, and I think that you might possibly have another work thing tonight too. So I'm not going to keep all of your time. But
I'm all set now, but we're good.
You're okay?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So this is what we've gone through so far. Real Housewives of New York. I'm about to talk about the two potential new newbies, if you know anything about that. Real Housewives of Potomac. Ashley Darby's pregnant again.
I know.
That's crazy. Real Housewives
timing right now.
Yeah. And Real Housewives of Orange County coming back. You were a part of this.
Yes. I was shockingly in the trailer. It was really exciting. So basically, Bronwyn's son is going to try and do drag. He's really interested in doing that for the first time.
Divine Devon.
That's the name he decided.
Devon. I love that.
And he'll tell you why. They'll air that during the episode, why he chose that name. But it's great. It was such a great afternoon. We had a blast. The next day, we took one of those limo buses down to San Diego, and Bronwyn and Emily judged a charity drag queen pageant. So it was a blast.
Well, Steve, I have a question for you, because a lot of the comments last time when we talked about this, about drag, and, it's crazy because even I get a feedback back on my YouTube where people are saying, how could you let your kid do drag, and that's out there, or if your kid's already doing drag, they have to be gay or whatever the case is. I'm gay, so I don't necessarily think that's true. I think you could do whatever you want. I think that's like saying if you have a straight person who dresses up for Halloween that they would be gay. That doesn't make sense. But I'm curious, since you did play a role in this whole scene that we're going to see, what do you think about that? People, because I think get backlash.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? I am so proud of her and Jacob for putting all of this out there, because it's going to help so many people out there. I think back to myself, and I'm sure you can relate back to yourself in high school. And we didn't have anyone like that, that would be putting all of that out there, where we are definitely in a different time than we were back, at least when I was in high school. But it's still, there's going to be backlash. But the important thing is showing that no matter what, she is standing up for her kid and letting him pursue whatever he wants to do. And that's the beautiful message behind it all. It does not matter. We're not even going to talk about whether he's gay, straight, whatever. That doesn't even matter. Drag is an art. It's a performance. And
it's kind of silly that you get labeled based off of an art, though, and that's just the reality of it.
And it's funny because I literally said this while we were filming, and I have no clue. It was like a 5-hour day, so I have no how much we'll actually make it onto air. Yeah. But that was one thing I said was like, it's art. It's not that big of a deal. Putting on a wig, doesn't define your sexuality. That's just such a bizarre thing
that you've ever heard.
Yeah, it seems absurd to me.
Yeah. It's a very silly concept, but
it really is.
With that being said, too, and I kind of want to piggyback on this Real Housewives of Orange County thing, because I love when we have a little bit of an insider, and I feel like that's exactly what you are. Have you met Elizabeth yet, or no?
Yes, I have a few times actually.
Okay, and then don't ruin it for us, of course. But are we feeling her? Are we? She was a lovely person. I just don't know. It'll be interesting to see how her storyline pans out. Okay. She's an interesting fit, I think. Definitely was a wild card in my opinion, but she was very nice when I met her, and she seems fun. So can I at least tell you how she's being, how I feel like she's being portrayed to us so far, and then you can tell us if you feel like that's accurate?
Sure.
Okay, so we know that she's the CEO of this big music company, and then in the trailer, she talks about how she, unless it's just clever editing, doesn't have sex with her husband.
No, that's true.
And then, okay. And then
well, it's not her husband. I think it's her boyfriend.
Okay, boyfriend.
Yeah.
And then we know that she's really good friends with Kelly Dodd, and that she potentially almost didn't make it on as a full-time housewife because she was so aggressive, and some of the housewives didn't actually want to film with her.
I don't know that aggressive's the right word. I think I remember seeing a lot of the blogs coming out, and some of the stuff that was coming out, from what I know, I don't think a lot of that was true. She was definitely not aggressive from what I've heard, at least.
Okay,
yeah.
well then that's good. At least we cleared that up, because people nowadays, like in 2020, aggressive doesn't fly. Like even Dorinda, everyone's ripping her apart, and I'm like, she just went through a breakup. She's obviously she's tipping the sauce a little bit. Give her a break.
I know. I honestly, I'm sad for Dorinda. I wish she would have had her redemption season next season, but I like to think that the door is open for her, and I think she'll take a break and come back.
Well, she did say never say never.
Right. That is true. And the network has said that the door is open as well, which is great.
Well, and then Steve, I have two more main questions for you, as long as I can keep them on my head. Real Housewives of Potomac first. Yes. Ashley Darby, do you think that announcing the second baby was kind of a clever play to avoid all of the chaos that's about to be ensued on her life after Sunday's episode?
You know, I normally would say yes, but at the same time, like, this is a story that we've all already known about, I feel like, since like when filming was happening.
Yeah.
So I don't know that it really matters, because we all know what happens, kind of deal. I mean, I'm sure there's people that don't know, but like if those that are following the blogs and following all of, everyone, the social media channels and stuff, we all know what's happening. So in reality, like, I don't know that it makes that much of a difference. I think it's it's shocking in the sense that, like, we know what's coming, and then now she's, I guess really solidifying her marriage with him.
Yeah.
But I guess if that works for them, it works for them. Maybe there's something we don't know about their marriage that maybe they'll reveal.
Well, and then, okay, that's fair. And then I was going to ask you, as far as Real Housewives of New York, it's not exactly what I was going to ask you. I had one more thing, but it's going to come back to me. Have you heard anything about this Alicia Quarles, the fashion journalist, or Talia Matola, the Mexican pop star?
So the second woman I haven't heard anything about. I heard that was out on Twitter or something today, but I haven't heard anybody confirming it. Alicia Quarles, I know, has been in talks from what I've heard. But I don't know if how far she's made it. But I will say I wouldn't be shocked if she gets it, because not only is she friends with some of the OGs like Luann and I think Ramona, actually. She recently did I think it was like a race discussion with like Garcelle, Giselle, a lot of the African-American Black Bravolebrities.
Oh, on the special.
Yeah. Well, not the Race in America one that they did, but there was a second one that was just done. And I saw like the group of people, and she was the only one, I think, that was not like a housewife. So to me, that was a little interesting.
Okay. That's a good sign.
I think so. Yeah. I think she has a good shot at least. So.
Yeah. Okay. And then are you excited about Real Housewives of Dallas, the new season coming up, or no?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always excited about all of the housewives. I mean,
Dallas is super underrated, though.
It was. Like, I was going to say, season 2 and 3 were amazing. Season 4 was just so dark for me. I did not like season 4. And but season 2 and 3 were incredible. Stephanie and Cam, love them. I love that they're like the complete opposites, but those two are my favorites. And I think Cam gets I think Leanne did a lot for the show. I mean, I think it's going to be interesting to watch their dynamic this season, because all of these women had a common enemy in the past, and now they don't. So they're going to have to turn on each other potentially, and it'll be interesting to see how they do that.
Do you know, it's kind of interesting. I got off, I just did an interview with Leanne tonight, like an hour before this. And
Yeah.
I was so curious to talk to her about how she feels the new season's going to be. And she kind of said it best. She's like, listen, honey, she's like, I feel like a turtle and I've been carrying that whole franchise on my back the last 4 seasons. So she's like, I can't wait to see now that they don't have me as like just the main person to go after. Like, who are they going to go after? She's like, I don't know.
I mean, I think they've definitely added one very big wild card, Jennifer Davis. We're not sure if she's going to be full-time or just a friend of, but allegedly is really spicing things up there. And then I've just heard like some mumbles about different feuds going on. And I mean, it sounds like there's a lot going on. I think it'll be interesting to see how it happens. But yes, exactly what she said. They have always had a common enemy and they don't have one this time. So it's going to fracture some friendships, I'm sure.
All right. And then, okay, I know I keep saying this, but 3 more things before I let you go. And I'm going to make them really quick.
You're fine. I don't have to go to work tonight anymore. So we're good.
Okay. 497 in the room, guys. Let's all hit like and get more eyes on this. Let's get 510. Let's say that.
Yes, let's do it.
So, Below Deck, did we watch it?
I don't.
Okay.
I know, that's so shocking. I know. Yeah.
No, we can can it. So the next 2 things I want to ask you about, and I just want to make sure that I write them down really quick because I forget everything. This is how bad it is. It's like, it's awful. I'm so messy.
I mean, hey, whatever keeps it straight. So,
okay. So I want to know, Shannon. Yeah. We obviously know most of the Orange County Housewives, or probably all of them, right?
What's that? Sorry, say that again.
I said we obviously know most of the Orange County Housewives, or probably all of them, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That, you know how Shannon does the excessive like madness?
Yeah.
This has to be a kind of a. You remember how when Paris Hilton would play into The Simple Life and be like, "That's hot," and act really kind of dumb. Is that what we're getting from Shannon? Are we getting like just a character, however you say this, caricature? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a mix of both. I think she really leans into it, but part of that really is Shannon. I mean, she's a little wild and crazy, and a little over the top like that, but I do think she does lean very far into it. So yeah, I think it is a bit of a caricature of herself.
Okay. And then we have Stassi, and I don't like to talk about Vanderpump Rules or anything like that, but I do want to talk to you about this because I'm curious. Do you feel like this Stassi interview that we're about to get, is it with, I don't want to butcher her name, is it with Tamron Hall?
Yes.
Okay, with Tamron Hall. Guys, 505 in the room. That's awesome. Tamron Hall. Yeah, thanks. Tamron Hall, do you feel like this is, in my opinion, I feel like what we're doing is she's obviously not going to come back to VPR. I don't think that Bravo can technically bring her back after making that sort of kind of statement of letting her go. But I feel like what we're doing is setting her up through Evolution Media or something for her own show, navigating motherhood without having a job, being kind of broke and only relying on Beau's money, even though we know that she won't be broke because they'll be filming a reality show.
I don't think she's going to be on reality TV quite yet. I don't know. Maybe she is. I think this was a way, and again, I don't know anything about it, but in my opinion, I think this is a way for her to have this dialogue that she, I guess, isn't able to do on Vanderpump Rules. So she's going to, I think it's probably strategic in a way to go to an African-American host to have this conversation with, because, you know, I think it's important.
So you're saying clever move on the crisis
PR. I mean, it seems like it would be, because I mean, she needs to be having these conversations with people of color because those are the people that she was affecting by doing or saying the things that she was in her past. So I think it's a smart move on her part, but also the right move on her part if she's going to have this conversation. We don't need to have her going on, a white talk show host to have this conversation. We needed her to face somebody who may have experienced a lot of the things that she maybe was causing, whether it was inadvertently or wasn't inadvertently.
Wow,
so it's
you're very
important.
good with your word placement, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
No, I think it's a smart move on her part and a smart choice on her part.
I agree.
Mhm.
Okay, well, I was curious what you thought about that. Wow. I feel like I might have just given you whiplash with all of these topics, but I thought that was great. We kind of did like a Bravo roulette really quick.
Absolutely. What are you most excited about for these, like Orange County this season, Potomac?
Potomac, honestly, I'm so sick of seeing this Michael Darby storyline and it being. I mean, I do feel like he carries Potomac on his back, but Giselle told us that the finale is the thing to be most excited about. I don't know if that's a clever play to get us to keep watching until then, or if it actually is going to be the best part because Michael Darby has to face all of the accusations and allegations. I
have heard the finale was very dramatic.
Yeah. Oh, really?
It's with Michael and I believe Chris Bassett. So it should be interesting. Yeah.
God. And then Real Housewives of New York. I'm excited to see the reunion. I think that I don't like seeing anybody get ugly, but seeing Dorinda when she goes, your friends are like a bad PSA for a PSA for a bad facelift to Ramona. And Ramona's like, that's why I'm skinny. And she's like, actually, you're really not. I hate to see her get a little dirty like that. But again, I think that she had a bad season. Like Ramona is, no offense, I hope I don't get demonetized for this, but she's shitting herself on the floor. Like that's not, you can't give this woman a break. Luann is falling into bushes. Bethany is calling Luann every single name in the book on previous seasons. Leah swinging from the freaking curtain. Tinsley is crying over everything. Back off of her. It's really not that bad.
And this is where I'm going to also defend Dorinda. I actually see Dorinda's frustration with Tinsley. And I don't know if we talked about this the last time I was on or not, but because I have talked about it recently, but with Tinsley, she, like the rest of the ladies, have really had to put their full life out there and so much out there, their full story. And to me, I feel like Tinsley only gave us like snapshots and glimpses. So I understand Dorinda's frustration. Like, how do you keep coming back and giving, these little blips of your life while the rest of us have to put every little bit out there? It's not really fair. So I understand her frustration. Her delivery was absolutely wrong.
Okay, but if you're talking about the finale, my question is this. I've actually been around for a finale that's taken place for Bravo, and I don't want to talk about which one it was, but for one of the Bravo shows. And I was there when one of the executive producers talked to the producer and said, this is going to be SHIT. Like, we don't have a finale. They're not going to get picked up next season if we don't do something. And just witnessing that, it blew my mind then 5 years ago. And so now it really blows my mind to watch Dorinda, because I feel like her reaction, even though she might not like Tinsley, is it really that warranted? Or is it the fact that producers are like, it's the finale, ladies, like, we need something, and Dorinda kind of took that opportunity to jump on it and be like, wow.
Well, I think that we actually didn't see a lot of what she was saying, and maybe they'll show us at the reunion, because I feel like they showed us a clip of her talking about Bethany at the finale. And what she was trying to say was Tinsley didn't introduce you to us. Bethany was the one that allegedly brought Leah on board. But then Bethany quit like right the day when filming was supposed to start. So Tinsley was the one that was introducing us to Leah. And I think Dorinda was drunk that night. I mean, I could be wrong, but based off of what I was watching, she seemed to be a little turn up. So I think the mix of that and just like a season-long frustration with Tinsley, and not even season-long. I feel like she's a couple seasons.
So wait, Bethany was originally supposed to introduce Leah?
Yeah.
And she canceled last minute, so then that's why they put this on Tinsley?
Yes.
Why is this news to me?
I don't know. That came out like I think it came out right at the beginning of either filming or at the beginning of the season. I don't remember. The blogs were reporting on it. But essentially Bethany recommended Leah, but I don't think Leah and Bethany actually really knew each other necessarily.
Well, I heard that she recommended her and that they didn't know each other, but I didn't know that she was originally supposed to introduce her. I thought Bethany made that decision to leave. That's why I'm saying I thought she made the decision months prior.
No, Bethany decided to leave literally the day of filming, the start of filming. So that's why it was, and that's why they made such a big deal about it and made like a breaking the fourth wall, was because it was literally right when they were supposed to start. It threw production into like a whirlwind. Wow. I mean, this is all allegedly. This is based off of what I was reading at the time. So, you know.
Well, Steve, I only have 5 minutes left before I have to close down Super Bravo Tuesday. I'm going to drop a link for a few callers. Do you have 5 minutes to stay on and see if anybody is... Yeah, let's see.
Sounds good.
I'm going to drop a clip and see if anybody wants to call in really quick. Hi, Dorit. How are you?
Good. How are you? Hi, Steve.
Hi, Dorit.
So I think that Dorinda's on the verge of a nervous breakdown.
Why?
And she may just need a break, to, pull herself together again. But she definitely needs to be back on the show.
I agree with you 100%. I think she is clearly very stressed out right now. And we saw it all season. I think she had the breakup. She realized that she never truly was mourning Richard. She had the craziness with Bluestone Manor. I think she just had a lot going on and a lot of changes.
2 renovations and a breakup. Yeah, you're right.
Exactly. Right. Like she had a lot going on.
Well, we saw the beginning of it when her house up in the Berkshires flooded and she had all these renovations and repairs to do. And she was really stressing out. And she just kind of kept rolling from there.
Yeah. I think this actual break for her, I think will benefit her more than her coming back next season, because I think it'll give her an opportunity to chill, refresh, and she'll be back better than ever. I love Dorinda, and I think she is such an important part of the show.
And we love her on
Dallas. Not to cut anybody off, but I hope the same thing. I hope that you just get like a moment to. This obviously has to be such a taxing job, right? I mean, emotionally, physically, mentally draining.
I honestly I've said recently in the past year how interesting it would be to do sort of like the psychology after reality TV is over, the people that were on reality TV for long periods of time, what that has done to mental health, because some of them make it their whole life. And that's where I think it's so important that you're coming on as a housewife or a reality TV star, that the show is not your life. It's an addition to your life. Because if you make the show about your life, it can be so all consuming, and I think it can be detrimental.
Well,
absolutely. I think a lot of them, it goes to their head. And they need to keep grounded.
And you also are thinking like, even though they're your friends that are your castmates, you're also thinking like, well, what are they saying behind my back? Is, what's going on that I'm not seeing? So there's always that like moment of uncertainty. Yeah. Totally.
They're always stressed.
Yeah. They're always, but I feel that the Housewives of New York they pretty much tell you to your face what they're thinking.
They do.
And what they're saying. They just come right out and say it. And that's how we are. We just shoot from the hip. We tell it like it is. You know,
Oh,
like
it's
it or
totally,
not
that's
like
what I
it.
love about, Dorit, just to piggyback off you, that's what I love about New York as opposed to Beverly Hills. In Beverly Hills, they're like, you're being a mean girl. Did you just say mean girl? And then you go over to New York, and then it's Dorinda who's like, why don't you put an easy pass on that vagina, that Holland tunnel of a, but it's like, what? You can't
Yes.
say that. But she,
Yeah.
Yes, you
she
can.
did. She can. She doesn't
See,
care.
That's my
And
favorite part of New
call you,
York is them
they'll,
being
they'll
able
call
to
you a
insult.
bitch. They'll call you a bitch to your face. They'll tell whatever it is because they get more joy out of telling it to your face than behind your back.
I applaud that. And that's what the biggest strength of New York is, being able to, literally insult their castmates, like calling them a whore, and they fuck everybody, but then going to brunch the next morning and as if either nothing ever happened or trying to move forward. And it's not a
That's how we
stagnant
are.
thing.
That's how we are in New York. We say what we have to say and we get over it. 5 minutes later, let's go for a drink. Let's do this. It's like nothing ever was said or done.
Just
And
drag her through the mud and then take her out for a drink.
that's
Amen
it.
to that.
I love
That's
that.
it. And that's how you remain friends.
I love that. Dorit, Steve, I appreciate you both so much. We just hit an hour, so I don't want to run over the time. But before we go, again, thank you guys both for your time so much. Dorit,
You're welcome.
ladies first, can you at least tell us what your favorite part of tonight's show was?
Okay, I have a confession to make.
No, go ahead.
While you were interviewing Peggy, quite a few of us were dishing on Darcy and Stacy. We had a blast. I don't know if you were reading your screen, but you got to go back and read it because the whole time that's what we were doing. So you were
Does that
on
mean
the
you
support that,
were
Dorit.
Peggy?
No, we were dishing on Darcy and Stacy the whole time.
Wait, we have to save that too because I talked to Pops about that last night and he's like, I watched that dang show again. He's like, I'm so sick of these two idiots. And I'm like, Pops. And,
I know, but you know what? I know you're on the fence on whether to do another video on them. And I think you should because we enjoy it and we love to dish and we have a lot to say. So, do one more. Do one more. We'll have a lot of fun.
Okay, I'll do another one next week just for you, Dorit, and then we'll see what the numbers are and we'll go from there.
Okay, great.
All right. And then thank you, Dorit. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, you.
Dorit.
And then Steve, real quick before you go, I appreciate you so much and thank you for coming back. Can you at least just give a shout out to your channel, your Instagram, your YouTube, everything before we go?
Thank you so much. Faces by Bravo on Instagram. Follow along. It's meme account. I try to recap, a lot of the funny moments and make them super relatable to our everyday life, of course. And then in my stories, we'll do March Madness style brackets. Currently, we're in the Real Housewives of New York Best Cast Photo. Took a little break recently because I took a little social break, but we'll be restarting shortly. And then we have, but now we said it on YouTube. It's me, Jeff Epstein, not the Jeff Epstein. It's literally his name.
How do you get lucky with that kind of name?
What's crazy is he had a different Instagram handle and he changed it to It's Jeff Epstein. And people were literally pissed about it. They were like, that's not a funny joke. And he's like, no, it's literally my name. I just literally wanted to rebrand to my name.
Oh my
I know, poor guy. But Jeff Epstein and Neil Joshua, he was on Big Brother Canada. And then my friend Malcolm, we do, but now we said it, which is like a Real or The View style talk show discussing all things Real Housewives and Bravo. So search it on YouTube, subscribe, give us your feedback. We're really getting our footing now, and we would love for you to join us.
All right. All right, Steve. Well, I appreciate you again so much. Thank you for calling in. And
thanks for having me.
Yeah, stay in touch because if you're around, we'd love to have you in the future.
Always. Just never be afraid to reach out.
All right. All right.
All right.
We'll see you
have
next
a good
time.
night.
You too. All right, guys. Wow, what an episode. What a Super Bravo Tuesday. I was watching the numbers. Guys, I can't get this permanent, stupid smile off my face. I saw the numbers go up to 570. almost to 600. Before we go, guys, please like this video on your way out. It helps tremendously. You guys made my night, made my week. I get to see my mom this weekend. I get to see Pops this weekend. Jason is going to get to see you guys this weekend and announce who the winner is of our free vacation giveaway. We have so many things to be thankful for in this life, and I am so thankful for all of you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you again so much for all of the super chats, super stickers. I can't see the chat while I'm actually doing the video, so if I miss them, I just thank you so much from the bottom of my heart and from our channel. We appreciate you guys. You're the best. I love you all. See you next time. Bye, guys. Cheers, except for you, Jolene. You mean old... I'm not going to say that. I'm not giving you